Hi, everybody. Jeff Russell here. Welcome to Stream with Purpose podcast number 3. Today is February 26th, 2024, and Championship Saturday, 2 days ago now. Now we're 2 days after Championship Saturday. So today we're going to look at the Dream Liberty girls game. We're going to go in depth on this. Keep in mind, I cannot hear the audio of the game. I'm going to play it. Now, I know Chick Coles came up and joined me in the booth. So I'm going to start it, and we're going to have an in-depth analysis here. This is a podcast. The purpose of this podcast is let people, if they want to vent, they want to talk, they want to discuss, they want to strategize, anything, anyone. If you're driving in your car and you just want to talk Upward Championship Saturday basketball, feel free. Put this on your phone and just enjoy your drive, whatever. If you're bored, nothing to do, we're going to talk Upward Championship Saturday basketball. We're not in any rush to do anything here, and we're just going to go over this Liberty Dream game. So the girls 7-9, it was an amazing season because, as we said in the earlier podcast, that there wasn't even going to be a girls' league. There was a chance of it getting just canceled. There was talks of moving sixth graders up. A lot of people wanted to see that, including myself. I know Darren's not big on that, so I knew that wasn't going to happen. But I know Brian wanted to see it. I wanted to see it. You bring in if you took your top 3 sixth graders, so, who would you, I don't even know off the top of my head, Lexi Zentner. You'd bring Zentner up. Maybe you could bring Cora Buck up. I think Antune is a sixth grader. I don't know. I mean, sixth graders with ninth graders. It's very questionable whether that would have worked or not. But, so here we go. Anyway, so right in the middle there, the red headband, is Avery Good. She came into the league in I think she was there week 1 before it started. She was, because she was player of the game in the first 2 weeks. So I believe Darren discovered her playing soccer. I go to church with her father, Jason, great guy, and she attends also, obviously. My kids already knew her, Avery, but we didn't know what a basketball talent she was, and her father says she doesn't play. So the girl dribbling right now, Gabby Morales. Now, Gabby Morales and Nicole Torres, number 90, you can see Nicole backing up there. They came into the league in week 3. And at that point, Avery Good got switched over to the Liberty. The Liberty is in blue. And so the story behind that is that my wife didn't even want to coach. She didn't want to head coach the girls 7-9. So if you backtrack, the reason they're called the Liberty, and there's 2 points already. So I requested they be called the Liberty. Why? Because in my daughter's 4th grade year, there's a nice shot. That's Renna Glick, the only 9th grader other than Gracie Bowman on that team. So it came out. I mean, it was 2-2 early. But I asked Darren, could we call them the Liberty? Because my wife coached the Liberty. There's Allison. It was a great shot. So that's the coach's daughter, one of his 2 daughters on the team. And I asked the coach, I asked Darren, can we call them the Liberty? Because Ryan Doherty, now look at that, right there, good play. Let me see how we can, I don't know if I can rewind on this thing. I don't even know how it works. Let's see. 4:02. So something you didn't see earlier in the year. Once Avery Good got switched over to the Liberty, she's a force on defense. She's an absolute force. And the Dream had a very hard time penetrating. They didn't even try to go inside. But you can see here, so I think I rewound it too far. So you'll see in the basket coming up. That's a really important basket. I'll let it run here because you're going to see that there was an adjustment made. So, and sorry, that's my family in the background.
4 championships for Chick Coles. Chick, we're gonna talk about that. I was just telling
and
guys.
So what you're going to see here, here's a nice shot. This is Allison. She pulls up. Great shot over Avery. So now, one thing I was not told is that Avery was playing with a swollen ankle. So my wife purposely didn't tell me. She didn't want Ryan. She knows Ryan and I text strategy. She said, now watch this. Gabby stops, puts the breakers on. We didn't see that all season. We didn't see. What we saw was Avery Good rejecting shots like that. So there's their first 2 baskets. There's your first clue. Something was wrong with Avery. So now, what's Doherty do? They got Gabby all over Avery there at the half-court line. There's a turnover. So you got to look at the strategy here. I wish I could rewind easier. I'm going to hit the back arrow. Where am I at? 420. How far did it take me back? 419. I don't know what it's doing. So, but really key baskets here because this sets the tone for the game. There's the first basket, which we didn't get to see. Looks like it was Mary. So you see adjustments made by Ryan Doherty. But back to my story, he coached under Cheryl, my wife, for the Liberty. Allison, his daughter, was on that team. So was Catherine, obviously. So I wanted the Liberty to come back. And Darren said, okay. So that's how the Liberty came up. And, of course, now Ryan and my wife, instead of being on the same team, opposites. But as we see the breakdown of this game, you're going to see the Dream got out to a massive lead. Now, the girl dribbling right there is Rena Glick. And 9th grader, stripped. Gabby. Gabby puts on the brakes. So right there, I'm like, wait a second. She wasn't able to do that the last 3-4 weeks when Avery was there. But now look what Doherty does. He has Gabby coming up at the half court, pressing Avery really hard. And there's a turnover. So great defensive scheme right there. Mary goes in. Good job, Avery. And a jump. So we're looking here. We're breaking down this Liberty game. They're up already 6-2. Now, Avery also had a hurt thumb in that game. I don't know when she hurt her thumb. So now we come up. So let's take a look at what Doherty has lined up here. So he's got Mary and looks like Gabby all the way up. Now, if you date this back to last year, you had the Lady Tigers who went perfect, girls 5th and 6th. Doherty was the coach. He said that the girls did it themselves. They formed a wall right there. But right now here you got Mary and you got Gabby pressing up front. Great job by Mary. Another turnover. So here's Gabby and Avery. Again, I mean, at this point, Avery, all season just dominated under this court, and you couldn't get a shot off with her there. So I don't even know what happens right here, but I'm just telling you the background on this. And Ryan's texting to me now, saying he's in the gym at our hotel. He's in Florida. He's in Disney. All right, so let's see what happens. Gabby goes up, layup. So already 3 baskets over Avery. Something, I should have picked up that something wasn't right here. So there's another turnover. So let's back this up. So now this is going on now almost every play here. So that's the 5:08 mark. Let's see if I can go back. What is this button? How far back does it go? I don't know. But you could just see here, 3 turnovers already. So they're coming up court. Now Allison's up there pressing. Rena got around her. Gabby comes over. Strip. So this just happened 3 straight times, and there's a pause by Gabby. They must have been studying Avery, because all of a sudden now Gabby's coming up, pump faking, and scored twice. So now you're up 8-2. So now we look again. Here's Gabby all over Avery at the half court line. So it's the same exact plan every time. The Liberty are just having a tremendous time. Or was that the play earlier? Another turnover. And this time it's Mary. Okay, so we saw this already. So we're going to let it run. But again, we're doing Welcome to the Stream with Purpose podcast number 3. Jeff Russell here. We're breaking down the girls' 7-9 game. Saturday, championship Saturday, 2 days ago. So Rena brings it up. Let's pause it here. I'm not going to rewind anymore. It goes too far. So Gabby, Mary, right there. Mary, and we know she steals it right off of Rena. Outlets to Gabby. Gabby, Avery. Scores. So now you're looking 8-2.
But check, you still had to play a very good Warrior team. Can you tell us about that?
So now we come up. Another turnover. This is brutal at this point. Allison, fortunate that she missed that for the Liberty. Good passing, great passing. Allison, the shot. Look at this. This is... And ball lands out of bounds on the Liberty. Like, everything is just going the Dream's way at this point. 8-2. So, you know, what? This was just a fantastic start that you want it if you're the Dream. It is. Great passing. So there's Gracie Bowman. Inside, Mary gets behind the defense. So you're looking right here. You got Gracie Bowman, Laureen King, DeShawna, and the Glick sisters. So at this point, it looks like Avery is pulled out of the game. So you get down 8-2, and now your best player is off the court. So now it's 10-2. So you want to talk about just a nightmare beginning for any coach, any team. Yeah, this is it right here. So you can't. So if you're the Dream, you're loving life right here. You know, sure works out great for the Dream. But let's play it on. So, all right. So JL, now that JL's taking the ball up. All right, so they got a little movement going. Pass underneath DeShawna, turned over. So right now the Liberty are just having all kinds of problems. Here's Gabby. Here's Faith Craft. I mean, look at this. They're all hit. They're all shooting. 12-2. Now you're down 10, but they're letting JL bring it up. JL's good player, good ball handler. It's knocked over. I guess they called something there. So again, folks, I cannot hear the audio. Let me put it on my cell phone, see what it sounds like. Okay. 12-2. Dream in full control right here. So it looks like Avery comes back into the game. All right. So how did they get the ball? I don't even see how they got it. Faith Craft again, another basket. So now Faith Craft, 2 baskets in a row. 14-2. Everybody's scoring. I think, did everyone score? They're starting 5. Well, Torres didn't score yet. And look at this. The defense, ferocious. I mean, if you're the Liberty right here, first of all, there's no timeouts called. This is just a disaster. It's the championship game. Now, Adelie Garman into the game. Good to see her. Still haven't seen my daughter yet, Catherine. Where is she at? Here's Bowman. Could have been called for travel. Look at this. I mean, they are just, it looks like there's 20 Dream to 5 Liberty. They got Gabby all over. There you found Gracie. Nice. All right, so the Liberty, good shot, Gracie Bowman right there. Now you cut it back to 10. Plenty of time at this point. So let's see what the Liberty defense looks like here. So it looks like they're playing a 3-2. JL, Gracie Bowman down low.
Did he have a good game?
Leaving Gabby. Gabby was on. Gabby was just hitting. Ball goes out of bounds.
I wonder if he was winded.
So 14. If you're driving in your car, you can hear. I'll kind of annotate what's going on here. You could still. I'm probably announcing in the background, but I know Chick Coles was talking to me. Chick came up into the booth. And there's JL. All right, so you got around the defense there. You cut it 14-6. So after the disaster start, you're only down 8 at this point. Only down 8. Yeah, you got a game here. All right, so they're letting Nicole bring it up. Are we still in a 3-2? Looks like it. They're getting at Faith Craft, who just, look, you're leaving Faith right in her spot. I wonder if that was purposely planned. So now look at this press. Yeah, Adelie Garman triple teamed. So you could see the plan, the defense here of Doherty. Gets it to Gracie. Renna has it. And lobs it. Oh, Ruth Frischka. Nice play, Ruth. Ruth with the interception. So here's Gianna. Good play, Gianna. Turned over. So the Liberty has some chances here. I mean, you're only down 8. So they got Torres on Bowman, and Adelie Garman's going to get called. Adelie moving screen, I imagine. Fidel's calling. Adelie was just trying to create some space there. It was a pretty hard collision. Jeff Russell here, everybody. Stream with Purpose podcast number 3. We're the Monday after Championship Saturday. If you're bored out of your mind and you love Upward, you love basketball, then enjoy the podcast. It's the Girls 7 and 9 podcast. So we're breaking down the Dream Liberty game. There's Gabby open, buries it. Look at that. Beautiful pass from Torres. Now you're back up 10. I mean, when Gabby's on like that, so that must have been at the buzzer, I guess. All right, so we'll fast forward ahead a little bit. All right, so now it's 18-6. It must have been another basket. All right, Ascenzio's into the game, and Catherine. So now they bring Lily and Catherine in. Interesting. So still a 12-point lead. And Avery. Oh, she found JL. Nice. Torres right there. JL trying to get a shot off. Oh, the ball's going to stay. So now we're second quarter. And, I mean, so far, I don't think Torres and Gabby have sat. So they got their A-line in there pretty much the whole game.
What is your game plan to stop Connor, Seth Wentling, Joshua?
So you got a 12-point lead. Nicole's bringing it up. There's a long 3 from Gabby. She almost hit that. She was on. Gabby, look at this. And now she's pressing Avery right away. Immediately. And a turnover. So the defensive scheme here is just tremendous. Allison lost the handle, so the Liberty catch a break there.
So you're going to
But
start
you
out
look
with
at the defensive scheme,
so in the Knicks
and
Sixer game today, Connor versus
it's just
Isaiah.
tremendous that the
I don't
Liberty
know
just
where it
had the
came from, but Connor
hardest time bringing the ball up. No comfort. They never got comfortable.
I remember seeing him shoot a three.
See what JL
He
does.
was making
Dribbling
it
with her left. Look at that. Nice.
beautiful. Connor definitely came to
Rinna,
play.
JL.
Did not see his second
I
game.
mean, they're just trying to get it inside, and there's a turnover. The defense of the Dream was just stellar. Absolutely stellar. Let's see. Here's Gabby. Good job by Avery there, but that leaves Gabby. So you just look at that play right there. So we got to stop this because this is important here. All right, Avery Good can't do everything. She can't. You know, she's right here. She's trying. 14. I don't know how far back we went.
So you're going to start out with the zone. Yeah.
I wish there was better fast forwarding on this. But if you look here, Avery Good is doing everything in her power. Here comes Gabby and Mary. All right. Ball goes to Mary. Avery's right there, all over her, right? So why is Gabby Morales sitting there all by herself? Avery's all over her. You got 4 Liberty under the basket. Easy pass to Gabby. Nails it with 4 Liberty sitting under the basket. All right, what kind of defensive scheme is this? Now you're down 20-6. Avery's bringing it up, and who's right in her face? Gabby, right there. So you could see there was a defensive plan. It was a plan, and
The online viewers.
Avery's already playing hurt. You know,
Just doing an experiment here.
it's frustrating. I know. It's got to be tough.
We'll see.
All right. See what Avery does here inbounding.
Might be easier.
Wild long. Avery's thrown a lot of long passes in this game.
So how did Chase
I wonder if that was on purpose to try to get over the defense. Now Nicole's doing it. She's throwing a bomb. Everybody's throwing bombs. And Allison's going to get called for double dribble there. So, I mean, look, I think the officiating in this game was good. I don't have any problems.
20-6
What happened here?
is all dream today.
Unlike the middle school gym,
I don't know what's
which
going on with
I
Liberty.
don't know where those refs came from, but that's a whole different topic.
I don't have any excuses.
So 20-6, Liberty just struggling. Here's Gabby meeting Avery right up at half court again.
You don't have to worry
Never
about that. Ryan and
lets
I
them
would-
get comfortable. Another long pass, turnover. It just seems to be the theme here that the passing, there's no structure, there's nothing planned.
Coach the boys 5th and 6th?
The turnovers, if you count up the
You
turnovers,
did have a team. Okay.
I mean, it's got to be heavily in favor of the Dream at this point. I mean, the Liberty just struggled. Really struggled to get the ball inside to get a good shot off. Now, the funny thing is in this game, they do get within 7,
A couple weeks ago at CFC.
and they had a good chance to get within 5, I remember.
Like Kenton.
All right, so let's pause and take a look at the defensive scheme here. So the Glick sisters up top, Bowman, Avery, DeShawna down bottom. And notice Faith Craft. Faith Craft has been at that spot a lot. She must love that spot. And she's already hit 2 baskets there. Gabby, top of the key. Let's see what they do. So Gabby's setting up. See, the Liberty never got to do this. They never got to get comfortable. So now Avery's all the way up top on Torres. Nice. And there you go, turnover.
They need to capitalize.
So that worked good. Avery, let's see, she's got to get rid of it. Rinna, good pass to Shauna. There you go. You got good passing and a basket. Beautiful. So look at that. You had a block, a turnover, good passing. That's what you want to see. 20-8. Now you got a 12-point game.
When you were
And it's still early.
The head lead.
There's another turnover by the Dream. So
Once I remember
another
that
long
shot.
pass by Avery. I can't see what happened. My brother's filming this game, by the way. And looks like Hayden called a
Luke
foul.
was the last one not to score.
My
And
brother was just zooming in way too much. But you got to give him a break. He's never done this ever. But yeah, he's zoom happy. It's okay. Hey, look, I'm glad he was there. You know, this was his first time on Championship Saturday. And guys, he's the guy responsible for me announcing. So he was my inspiration. All right, here's Avery. Got Torres on Avery. Avery's backing her in. Oh, here's where he calls her 5 seconds. He's counting, and he calls it. He holds up his hand, 5 seconds. Avery frustrated right there, bounces the ball. You can't, if you're being covered, you've got to do something within 5 seconds. You can't just keep backing your way in real slow. So I don't know if Avery didn't know the rule, but you could see Carl waving his hand back and forth there. So good call, Carl. Just remain consistent. So, all right, hold on. Why was that not a backcourt pass? What happened? Is that what Fidel called? Did they call it? Let's see if they give the ball to the Liberty. They're not giving that ball to the Liberty? That clearly looked like a backcourt. All right, I got to stop this and rewind it. Hey, look, if the refs are wrong or I'm wrong, I want to know. I want to know if this was backcourt. It is really hard to rewind on this thing. All right, you guys tell me, is this backcourt? Here's Faith Craft, took it over, throws it backwards. Clearly a backcourt. Why is that not called a backcourt violation? Is anybody watching this? If that's not the definition of a backcourt violation, I don't know what is. Did they call it? They stopped play. So I thought Fidel calls backcourt here. That ball should go to the Liberty. Anybody explain why? All right, wait. I need to see this from. Am I going crazy here? What? All right, I'm going to turn up my phone. I want to hear what is being said. Let's see.
You can't just back your way in and take more than 5 seconds.
I don't know. But look where Nicole is standing. All right. So that clearly is a backcourt violation that just completely got disregarded. I don't know why. But they stopped the play here. What? Is there something I'm missing? If anybody knows what happened there, they do stop the play, but did they give the ball to the Dream? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody explain it to me. Anyway, they play on. So you got a 12-point game. And okay, so the Liberty got the ball anyway. So here you go. Ruth is pressing. Allison pressing. Good job, Adderley. Got around them. Look at Adderley. And I think they called Torres on a block. Still a 12-point game. Guys, we're going to break down each of the championship games. This is podcast 3. This is going to be the girls' game. Nice play right there, Renna. Renna Glick, great shot. Give a lot of credit to Adderley there. At a 10-point game, they're hanging around. They're hanging around. All right, so Allison bringing the ball up now. Glick sisters pressing. Another backcourt violation. And now he calls it. Now he calls it. Okay. So where was it 2 minutes ago? But it didn't matter anyway. They didn't score off of it. But okay, so they got that one.
Folks, we apologize for the live feed.
Okay.
This is not our normal way of doing this.
Long pass. Let's see how they get around the Dream defense here, if they even do. So Adderley looking to set a pick. Renna has it. Would she step on the line?
What's wrong? Why?
So,
shows 10-point game.
all right, so we got an update from Weiss Market.
Hoffman, Katie
Weiss Market is cutting off their meat vendors. My son works there. I think he says they're raising the prices, not going on sale. Here's Gabby for 3. Oh, beautiful shot. That was for 2. Our foot was on the line. Now you're back to a 12-point game. All right, let's see. Adelie, really, she came to play. Now they got Gabby on her. So is Avery out of the game? All right, so at this point, looks like Avery is out. So, again, the Dream, they got their starting 5 in there almost the entire game. And look at Torres just took it right out of Gracie's hands. So no Avery. Avery's resting right now, and look at Gabby. They're lucky she didn't even score right there. Split the defense. Jump called. All right, hold on a second. Jump called. I need to see this again. So, folks, we're going to do this for every game. We're going to break it down. If you're bored out of your mind, you love Upward Championship Saturday talk, this is the podcast for you. If you're driving in your car, put it on. We're going to break each game down from every league. You got nothing else to do. All right, so look at Gabby Morales. She is just super. Splits the defense. All right, what happened here? So great job. Well, that was a fast jump. That looked like Faith Craft just snatched that ball right out of her hand. Boy, I tell you what, Faith Craft has just increased her level of play the whole season, game after game. All right, so here's Renna. Renna for 3. Look at that. JL rebound. Took that extra dribble. You need to go right up with that. But still good. Drew the foul. All right. Good job. All right. So JL at the line. So you're down 12. You're still in the second quarter. Plenty of time. So Avery Good is, oh, nice shot, JL. I think she's shooting off the backboard on purpose, and I see that a lot this year. Players shooting off the backboard. Oh, she tried it again. She's trying to shoot off the backboard on purpose. That's a good idea. So there you go. You got a offensive rebound. So let's say Gabby. Look at this double team. So somebody's got to be open. Nobody's open. Look at this. The defense. So Allison's on Gracie. Double teaming the dribbler. Adelie is right there. Let's see what they do. And you got a turnover. I mean, that is just superior. What happened here? Timeout call? I think Ryan called time. It's just, I wonder what Conroy's saying there. So 22-11. And you got a game here, folks. We have a game. Girls 7-9. Guys, let's think back. John Hoffman. I don't know if you guys are aware. He's had 1 loss in 6 years. And that's because his 4 worst players showed up on a retreat week. And one of them was not his daughter, Katie. And, the girls 7-9 league. Now, there was one championship game where it did come down to the wire. It was almost a super upset it was actually the Dream. The Dream was on the losing end. And poor Andrew Sangre, what he had to put up with, I'll tell you. Andrew Sangre, bless his heart, he had to go up against John Hoffman. Jason Sciori went up against John Hoffman. Yeah, the guy was just unbelievable. And, Ryan Doherty learned from Hoffman because Doherty was under Hoffman. So he learned a lot, he told me, being the understudy of John Hoffman, who, like I said, for all intents and purposes, he never lost. So, all right, we got an 11-point game. Avery back into the game. Okay, Avery brings it up. This time, finally, nope. Gabby not letting her breathe. Meeting her right at half court. Avery's backing in. Got to get rid of it in 5 seconds. Renna, and now look at this. You got Mary right. Look at this press. Mary and Gabby. There's just no preparation here. You got somebody sitting right here in the paint. Is that Senzio maybe? Let's see. Great defensive plan by Doherty. Look at this. Look at the press. They don't care that Lily Asensio is sitting under the hoop all by herself. She's not going to get the ball. How are you going to get it to her? No, they get Mary on a foul, and that looked clean. Mary, I think I'm kind of with you on that one. So Liberty may have caught a little break there. Hey, listen, Fidel has done a great job all season. I got no complaints with Fidel. You know, did he call a lot of travels? Yeah, he did. And he also let a lot go. All right, so you got, here's Lily. Puts it up, almost hit that. Avery. Ah, that's a shame she missed that one. Great job. Look at Adelie. Adelie Garmin. Adelie Garmin just came to play. Okay, that was fantastic. Strip, quick basket. Now you're down 8. So, look at Gabby Morales. Look at Gabby Morales. You're lucky she fell. She is just splitting the defense. Oh, she's hurt. Oh, look at this. All right, so this is the big play here. All right, let's rewind this because something really interesting happens here. This is an 8-point game. So, 29. Let's back it up just a little bit. All right, so Gabby is going to get hurt on this play. Nicole Torres is going to look at the coach and say, Coach, call timeout. She's hurt. All right, so we've rewound just a little bit too much here. But this rewind, I wish they had a better rewind feature. I'm sorry about this, folks. But this gives me a chance to explain what I want you guys to look at here. So coming up in a few seconds after this, Nicole's going to look at Doherty, the coach. And they're going to have a conversation on the court. And Ryan and the defense, they're just going to stop playing. So watch Gabby. This is some superior dribbling right here. Look at this. Is this the play? I don't know. What did I do? Did I go too far back? I need you to see the play here. I think I don't know. I didn't want to lose that play. I'm going to back up, folks. I'm sorry about this. Because there was an important play. Somehow I went ahead. So I'm going to back it up. Is this Adelie's basket? I think it was right after Adelie's basket here. So as the Dream are all stopping, waiting for the coach to call timeout, Ryan Doherty told me that he called timeout. I guess it was never heard. So right here, Gabby gets hurt. Okay, she's hurt. Look at Ryan. He's throwing his hands up in the air. He can't believe no foul was called. So he's calling time right there with his hands. So Avery's pointing to him. And I don't understand what the refs did. So there's a free basket, right? No, JL misses it off Renna's foot. This is okay. We got to stop this right here. This is really all right. This is comical. So already you missed a blatant backcourt violation we showed you earlier. So this is the 29-12 mark. I'm sorry for laughing, folks, but this may be one of the worst sequences I've seen in a while. So Mary's called. She's in disbelief. I don't know what's going, Brian. This is comical. Where am I at? Did I go too far? I think I went too far. Let me back it up. All right. All right, so Avery, Gabby gets hurt, right? Gabby gets hurt. We got to back it up a few more seconds. All right, here we go. All right, watch this sequence of events. Gabby falls down. Look at Doherty. Doherty's got the arms wide open. Where's the trip? Where's the foul? Right? So no foul called. Uh,
Benson
so
fell,
this
no
gets
call.
even funnier.
Doherty, his hands in the air. Once a
All
foul,
right.
not going to get it.
Did we miss Doherty calling time? All right, look at Ryan right now. So Ryan, well, I guess he can't call time. All right, so he cannot call timeout. Avery has the ball. So if that, Ryan, if you see this later, I want you to let me know. Is that where you were trying to call timeout with your hands right there? So he didn't get the time. Look at Avery stopping. She's pointing. She's looking at the ref. He's calling timeout, she's saying. She stopped her dribble. All right? So this makes the dream stop. So the dream stops. What a ploy by Avery. If that was intentional, that was pure genius. Because you got the whole entire defense. Look, all 5 of them are on that side of the court. All 5 of them. So she lobs it right over the head to Rena. You got a 3-on-0. Mary was quick. She got back there really fast on this play. Okay? This was an incredible bounce pass by Rena Glick. Rena, I'm giving you major props right here. Oh, not even a bounce pass. Gives it to her sister for the easy layup, which should have been. And it goes off of Rena's foot. That was just a hard... Now, Mary's holding her head. I'm wondering whose foot that went off of. 29-12. I need to back that up. I need to back this up because Mary is reacting as if that went off of her foot. Look at this. You got a 3-on-0. 3-on-0. Good job by Mary to get back. Rena found her sister, and she just misses it. I want to say, okay, that did go off of Rena. So why is Mary holding her head? I don't know what Mary's upset about there. All right, so Torres going to inbound. That was just an amazing sequence right there. But, all right, so if you stop and think about this, if the Liberty hit that basket, you're down 7. And a lot of momentum. But, hey, it didn't work out. All right, do we got to... Now what's going on? Mary's looking...
Now they're calling a double dribble on Mary.
Brian's pointing at the clock. What in the world's going on here?
Nice and smooth is starting to get a little bumpy now for the Dream.
All right, why is the Liberty getting the ball?
You're only up 9. This game is
Hold
not
on.
over.
We're not fast-forwarding here. This is an in-depth analysis. No. We need to see what happened here. I'm going to listen on my phone.
Now, 22-13.
Oh, I went too far back.
Morales splits the defense and fell.
Let this
No
play
ball.
out.
Doherty is
I
hands
can't
in the air.
hear
Wants
what's
a foul.
going
Not
on.
gonna get it.
I got to hook up some
Good.
headphones. So Ryan calls timeout, not getting it. Great
The
fake by
Liberty can get
Avery.
closer.
What a
This is
play.
a breakdown
Rena
of the defense. Mary
Finds her
gets back,
sister.
quick,
That,
gets it
that's
off to
just
her
beautiful
sister,
right
missed the
there. It's a
layup.
shame she didn't hit
Off
that
of
shot.
Rena's foot.
All right. What happens here that the Liberty get the ball?
Gave you a
I don't
layup.
understand what happens. Somebody tell me.
I know they'd love to have that
Torres
back.
to inbound.
I
She
think
wings
the
it.
teams got confused
What's going on? Brian's pointing at something.
because of
Let's see. When did they stop
Doherty
play?
calling time.
I don't know what happened here. I'm going to have to go ask Doherty what went on right here. So if anybody knows, put it in the chat later for people to see. Brian's pointing at the clock.
And what was going
Or,
nice
I don't
and
know, he's-
smooth is starting to get a little bumpy
whatever it
now
is.
for the Dream.
I don't understand. So somebody let me know what happened in that sequence because I can't hear it. All right, so the Liberty catch a break. Here's JL.
JL missed.
No, she wishes she had that one back. Torres, dangerous pass, but somehow, man, how did she find Gabby right there?
Gabby
Gabby's going to pull for 3.
missed it.
That's it.
Mary.
Offensive rebound. Oh, JL. Oh, JL had her hands on it.
Allison. She's
Here's
gonna go for it.
Allison.
She
Oh, this is a shooting
Garmin
barrage.
comes down with it.
All right, Garmin got it.
A 9-point
Boy, what a
game
game by
early
Adelie
quarter
Garmin.
action.
Is she great in this one or what?
Garmin.
She was super in the
Senzio
championship
Willie has
game
JL
last year
underneath,
for
but get it
Doherty.
to her. Torres right
Senzio
there.
was on that team too, the Lady
Takes it
Tigers.
back out.
All right, so let's see. What do we got? Avery just coming into the play now. So she had to be hurt because Avery's just showing up into the play after all that passing. So Avery Good is hurt. I know she hurt her thumb. So this was a look at that. They got Avery right in her favorite spot. Boom. Look at it. You could see, and you see how she leaned down there a little bit. She was hurting, but they got it within 7. So Doherty called timeout immediately. Immediately. So down 7. You got a game, folks. You got a little bit of a game going on. And now ball's going the other way. I fast forward a little too much. All right. We're going to keep it moving. Welcome to the Stream with Purpose podcast. Jeff Russell here. 3rd podcast. We are breaking down Championship Saturday girls 7-9 game. So if you're interested in the girls 7-9, this is the podcast for you. Great play. Look at Gabby Morales. What are they calling now? All right, I got to rewind that. All right, let's see what happened before that. So Allison missed. I mean, look at what Gabby Morales does here. I mean, what made her the championship MVP is stuff like this that you're about to see. It's the little things that she does, and all the MVPs do. You know, Connor Stoltzfus, look at this. Gabby just picks off the pass. She came out of nowhere. She came out of nowhere to get this ball. You know, it's just unbelievable how great she is. So I don't know what the call is here. They get Catherine? I mean, they call it foul on a Liberty. I guess they got Catherine. I don't know. And was that Faith? I missed it. Was that Faith Craft again? Let me see. Faith Craft. What? She is that 3 out of 4 shots? Her shooting percentage is so high because she's very selective. She doesn't just shoot. And there's another turnover. Catherine, she just fell down. Gabby made her pay. Yeah, Faith Craft had a phenomenal game. And this team just bonded. Here's another sloppy pass, turnover. Gabby did it again. She did. Look at 2 quick baskets. Sloppy. Yeah, things just fell apart. You got within 7. And now look that fast. Boom. You're down 13 in the blink. Yeah, look, you could just see the Dream wants it. Look at Nicole's defense here. Look at that. Just Gracie Bowman raising her hand up. Nobody's even over there. The ball's not even getting. Poor Catherine. Catherine. My daughter's getting banged up out there. You know what Catherine told me? She loves playing the Dream, and she's really going to miss it. There's Gracie underneath. She said she had so much fun and that she is going to miss playing this team. And I'm going to miss these games because I can tell you right now, the girls 7-9 league, I looked so forward to those games more than any other league. It really is a shame that they can't play each other next year. But it was just a fantastic, it was an enjoyable season. You know, I mean, John Hoffman was blowing out every team they played. Especially when Lena Steiner was there. Look at this. Look at Faith gets in there. That go, oh man, off of Gracie's foot. It just, everything went wrong for the Liberty in this last sequence. Once they got within 7, the wheels came off. The wheels came off. But you can see that the Dream wanted it more. The Dream shot better. They had a better plan. It just, you know, and give credit to the Liberty. They still were in this game. Look at Ruth. They really, oh, Ruth, how did you almost hit that? They tried so hard to get Ruth a basket. And why is Gracie bringing the ball up? You know, this was Gabby Morales again. Now you're up 15. Game's over. It's done. this point, just let anybody play. Nice pass by Catherine. JL with Nicole on her. Look at Torres's defense. You just had look at that turnover. Was that a turnover? No. Just you just see the difference of the two teams. You can see, how they bonded. Everybody did their roles. Look at that, Torres and Gianna slapping hands. And Ryan was showing me in practice. The girls had so much fun. They bonded, which is so important to have that team chemistry. And they became a unit. They became a team. And it's so hard to beat that. There you go. Catherine put one in. Let's see. Now they're pressing. All right. So JL and Deshauna. Now Catherine steps up. Mary cross court to Gabby. Look at that. Garmin comes up. Where was this all game? Why are you doing this now when you're down 13? Yes, it's working. Brian's clapping. It's working. But why are you waiting so late to do that sequence that we just saw pressing? Doherty's doing it to you the whole entire game. And you're just doing it now in the late in the second quarter? Is it really? We didn't even hit halftime yet? Did I skip over halftime? I think we're a third quarter here. It's got to be a third quarter. But still, way too late in the game to start that. That sequence worked. 3 people pressing up front. Adelie Garmin came up. That's what needed to be done. But it's too late now. It's too late. Here's Deshauna. So Deshauna disappears for 3 games and then comes back for Championship Saturday. There's 2 games. 2 games. All right, so Gracie Bowman gone after week 2. And then, so you got 2 people showing up on Championship Saturday that haven't played. So, that's going to disrupt the chemistry, if there even was any, which I don't think there was much with the Liberty. So, no, I'm certainly not blaming them. That's not my point. I'm just saying that for the Liberty, you had all these factors going against you, and then you had on the other side a team that was fully prepared for this. And it's tough. It's tough to try to win a championship game when, look at them. I mean, Doherty had this team, and he did this with the Lady Tigers. He did this with the Bearcats. And you got to give him credit. This is his 3rd championship win in a row in the girls' league. So is this halftime? I don't know. 30-19. Look at the press. So now you got Allison. There's 3 girls pressing, and they're up 11. See, the thing is, Doherty is sending everybody up. He's leaving people under the basket wide open because you're not going to get the ball there. They're not going to get the ball to Deshauna Jones. Now, Laureen is sitting all by herself. Is that Avery? Who is that? Was that Avery? That was Avery. They had a chance there. Now, let's see what the Dream do here. Gabby. Quick pull up. She almost hit that. So you're down 11. Deshauna, you should have just been called for a travel right there. They let you go. Off of Fidel's leg. I love it. The ball should have went out of bounds. It goes off Fidel's leg. So the Liberty had their, look, Gabby, another steal. Gabby with Avery right there, still lays it in. Something was not right with Avery Good, because we've seen that now how many times that Gabby scored, one-on-one with Avery, and she couldn't do that throughout the regular season. She had a very, very difficult time doing that. But, I didn't know. There was another backcourt violation not called. So I think they're letting them play at this point. Nicole Torres missed. And who's Hayden going to give? He's going to give that to the Liberty? Should. I don't even know if they know who's getting it. They're giving it to the Dream. I don't even know how that's the Dream's ball. 2 girls went up. Look at Nicole, all smiles.
Dream got off to a
Hey, I
big
got to
lead
give the
this
Dream
morning.
credit. They are the only
Faith
team
Craft.
that came up
Faith
to the
carries
booth.
it.
Was that Faith
Everything's
Craft
going right for the
again?
Dream.
Well, what a game she had. Faith Craft.
34-19.
This is a career high for
Dream
her. 8
over
points.
3 minutes. Here's Asensio.
So the Dream came up after the game and thanked me. It was very, very touching. It was very, very nice. No other teams come up to the booth, the whole team, to thank me. And it was very touching. So thank you, Dream, for that. Yeah, very classy. I mean, I underestimated what Faith Craft did in this game. And it didn't stand out, and it was a silent killer because she's hitting all her shots. I mean, that's 8 points. So here's Lily. And look at the defense. Gianna and Torres all over her. Is that a turnover? Or are they going to call a foul? They called a foul. 34-19. Look at this. I mean, they're dropping in the 30s. That's a lot of offense. There's a turnover on the inbound. I mean, where is the inbound plan? It just doesn't look like any kind of plan. It's just like whatever. This is what I'm saying here. Jeff Russell here, Stream with Purpose podcast number 3. We're breaking down in depth all the championship games, and this podcast is just the girls' 7-9 championship game. Feel free to leave your comments in the chat. Anything you want to say, contribute. If you're driving in your car and this game is of interest to you, that's what this podcast is for. This is, we just want an in-depth breakdown of each of the games. We're going to do, the other games in another podcast. Just trying to keep Upward alive a little bit before we go into the summer. We never did this before. So we never really, after Championship Saturday, just put everything away. So while it's fresh on our minds, any little thing we can get out of this, it's all in good fun. Good fun. Nice shot, Mary. So Ruth comes into the game. I know how bad they wanted Ruth to have her first basket. But I don't think she got it. They tried. So look at the press. Still pressing. 35-19. Turnover. It just goes back to last year with the Lady Tigers. You can't get around Doherty's press. So until you figure that out, you're not going to beat them. It's as simple as that. Look at this. They're all over Bowman. They give her a foul. Gabby's like, what did I do? Why are you calling a foul? So I think that was a generous foul there. But look, the Dream just played better. That's all. There's just another pass over the head. It was just too much. It just looks like two different levels of play out there. The thing is, the Liberty has the talent to beat this team. They did. They won one. There's no doubt in my mind that they can beat this team. Though it's not like it's impossible. But you're going to have to play a great game. So now they're just trying to get Ruth a basket at this point. But, this all comes down to coaching. It really does. This comes down to preparation. It comes down to the little things, team chemistry. And the Liberty didn't have that. They didn't have that. Look, they're just whatever basketball. Where you can see that the Dream is well prepared, well disciplined. Avery liked the Liberty. And, I did see a lot of the practice. Ryan showed me, and I asked him, I said, I want to see what you guys are doing at practice. And the girls just had so much fun, playing and screaming and wrestling and, not just all basketball. Oh, Avery. Oh, here's where she hurt her thumb. That must be it. Oh, look at that. Oh, Avery, I didn't see what happened. I don't even want to see it. So Avery hurts her thumb. She showed my daughter a picture later. They text each other. Her thumb blew up, but I'm not using that as an excuse for this game. No. You could just see one team is playing good basketball. One team is just well coached, and the other's just a mess. And it's all it comes down to, you know. So, and you see the results here. You're dropping 35 points on Championship Saturday. So major props to Ryan Doherty and the Dream. Look at this, Ruth. Oh, Ruth, they tried everything they could. That is a shame. They really wanted Ruth to have that basket. So Ruth never played basketball before. Either did Deshauna Jones. I remember on an eval day, I had Deshauna and Ruth. I was teaching them how to shoot. And because they never played basketball before. There's JL again. The same exact layup she missed earlier. I don't know what happened there, JL. Not that it mattered. You know, that basket's not going to do you much. Look at Ruth. Everybody wanted her to hit that so bad. If there was one knock against this game, Ruth didn't get the basket. Everybody wanted to have that. So there you go. That is it, folks. So that is going to be the end of podcast number 3. Congratulations, Ryan Doherty and the Dream. Look at them. Look at Gianna and look at them. It was just a fabulous team, and it was a great game plan. It was, you know, they deserved it. What else are you going to say? What else are you going to say? I hope the Liberty learned from this. All I can say is next year should be super. It should be super. And like I said, parents of 6th grade girls, get your girls to play. Don't be afraid of the 7th grade year. A lot of 6th graders from last year's Lady Tigers and the Wolfpack, you know, they didn't, and the Cardinal, they were Cardinals last year. They didn't play. And there's, you know, don't be afraid of 9th graders. My daughter, I know people play for another school. I know that. But it's one practice. You know, and I forget who I was talking to. I think the boys were helping me out. And I said, guys, what do you think? Why do some people not play? And he's like, well, the practices conflict. And I am sure that an Upward coach would let you miss practice. Now, I'm not saying this for sure, but if it came down to you not playing Upward and skipping practices, I think Upward would rather have you play in the league and miss the practices. I mean, it's only 7 practices. So let me ask my wife. So if a girl came to you and said, I want to play Upward, but I will not be able to make any of the practices, would you say, if you had the choice to just don't play Upward or play but show up on game day? So you'd rather them not play Upward. So I don't agree with that. I don't. If you have if they're telling you, I'm on another team, I'm in middle school, but I have to be at the middle school practices. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about that out there? Because it is a big problem with Upward, is the conflicting schedules. And I would rather see the girls or boys play and skip the practice and play in the games, because, you know, you're still part of the organization, all because of a practice. It's one practice. What do you have, 8 practices for the whole year? I don't know. That's just my personal feeling. If you guys feel different, totally fine. I'd love to hear what you had to say. You know what? I'm going to get some other coaches' opinion here before we sign off this podcast. So, you know what we're going to do? We're gonna call some coaches. Let's see who we can get. Dan Gwaltney. Oh, Dan, you're watching. Oh, okay. So Dan, I am sorry. I'm just seeing your text now. All right, Dan. So Dan Gwaltney, everybody knows he can't join the live chat for some reason. Dan, if you're a coach, your daughter's a perfect example because Lexi plays on another team. Would you rather, as an Upward coach or just as an Upward organization, have the person not play at all, or because they can't make the practice? Or do you have the person play on and show up on game day as part of the team and maybe try to work around, maybe have your own personal practice or have a video with the team, have a 1 hour video session and include the person that way? Or, you know, what are your feelings, Dan? I don't know if you're still with me out there. So I'll check back and see if Dan gets that. But I want to get some other. All right, so I'm going to ask Coach Doherty on the chat. Let me ask him if I can call. I want to get some audio here. I don't know if he's what. I'm going to ask him if I can call him for a quick question.
So Isaiah's injury really did change a lot of things as far as the scheduling, because it seems like
I don't know if people get shy or embarrassed or whatever, but I want to see if I can get some audio phone calls here. Hey, you'll be my first. I'm going to tell him you will be my first audio guest ever. Only a couple minutes. An important question.
You didn't have to deal with the Jazz to get to the championship. So the scheduling helped.
So we'll see. I want to get other coaches too. Let's see. I don't want to just call them. I want to see if I can call them. Let's see if I can get somebody.
Can you tell us about that game?
Anne-Marie, can I call you for an important question live on my podcast?
Yeah. Well, you know, we started out the season.
I want to get someone's voice. I'm looking to get my first audio guest. So whoever wants to be my first official audio guest, feel free to text me. I know everybody's eating dinner or whatever it is, but I want to see. I want other coaches' input. Let's see who has the guts to talk. I'm asking Chick Coles. Nobody wants to talk. Everybody's afraid to talk. No, but Chick was great. Chick, you know, in this game, it was great having him in the booth. It really was.
So Chick, how did you handle the outside shooting?
See if I can get anyone to say okay. I'll wait a few minutes.
He said he didn't play his greatest game today.
All right, so let's see what Dan commented earlier. All the turnovers are in the middle of the court. Quick pass to the side, followed by a quick pass to the baseline. Yeah, Dan is going to coach next year. And I hope that he coaches in the girls 7 and 9 league. I hope we have enough girls for 3 teams. Now, I know he has his kids. He's probably going to have to coach for his kids. But I hope we have 3 girls 7 and 9 teams. I really do. All right, so what else Dan say? Quick pass to the side, followed by a quick pass to the baseline, beats this press. All right, so let's look at what Dan's saying again. The Liberty should have spread the court. Now, I want you guys to comment, whoever reads, hears this in the future. The Liberty should have spread the court. All these turnovers are in the middle of the court. Quick pass to the side, followed by quick pass to the baseline. Beats this press. Every turnover has been in the middle, which is the strength of this zone. All right, so Coach Doherty. I know you're not, he's in Disney right now. I'm going to get his thoughts on this. See if we can post them in there.
He actually fouled out.
All these turnovers are in the middle of the court. Quick pass to the side,
I don't even have
followed by
it up
quick
here.
pass to
Not
the
expecting
baseline. So are you saying, Dan, to go backwards?
Let's go find out. There's Gracie Bowman.
Or are you talking about the baseline under the basket you're trying to score on? So I'm
I
not
don't even
sure
know that you
exactly
could
where
see
your
that well.
beats this
Nobody
press.
even thought they had a
Every
chance.
turnover has been in the middle, which it absolutely has.
35
And
is
this is what
Franklin
Doherty did last year.
And now the dream, or the
All
Liberty,
right.
finally.
He was one
So
of
I'm
the
going to shut
OG
off
guys.
the background
Franklin is, yeah.
noise here because I don't need to hear Chick Cole's. I'm sure I can't hear it, but you guys hearing it. All right. All right. So Chick says we can call him. Let's get our first caller. All right. This ought to be funny. Now I feel like a real.
Hey, brother.
Coach Coles, you are our first official podcast audio guest. So thank you for allowing us to talk with you. Chick, we got a very interesting question. So
Okay.
we are live on the air right now. This will be on the YouTube podcast. Chick, so the topic of a player that plays for another team, such as Garden Spot Middle School, seems to be the big popular conflicting school. And
Sure.
if a child says to you, Coach, would you mind if I played Upward, but because of my middle school, I can't attend the practices, but I can come and be part of the team on game day? What are your thoughts of that player playing in Upward?
I think it's going to be a pretty heavy lift. I think when you get into the public school where, the future lies, kids are looking to go up that, that ladder, and coaches get to be a little bit more possessive. I would say you'd probably have to have some good relationships with the school to be able to figure out how something like that would work.
So you're more concerned with the school side of things. I'm more concerned with Upward not allowing that. What would Upward say to that player?
Well, I think the ramifications are equal for both the school and the and Upward. You probably remember a couple of years ago where we had a situation with a player. It didn't have anything to do with another school, but with some decision making that the player wouldn't be able to be with us at the end of the season. It gets very difficult, no matter which side of the argument you're on, in terms of planning and in terms, how you build your team, how you make your plays, how you use players. You get to a point where the competing interests really do make things very difficult, if not impossible.
Have you had that happen? Has a player, now we're not talking about the other situation where there was an injury and a surgery involved.
Right.
Have you had a player because of another league, schedules conflicted at all? Had to miss practice here or there, or miss a game? Has that gone on with any of your teams?
Yeah, I had some of that this year in with my younger boys. Sport programs with school, and they couldn't be at all the practices. They were at least at some. But I've had it happen, and where I had it happen was at the 5th and 6th level, and that probably is less of a difficulty. But as you get to the older ages, you're really wanting to accomplish things during practice that you want to use during the the next game. it just gets to be difficult for one team or the other, if not both.
Would you tell the child, just don't play Upward? Go to your middle school. Upward's not for you.
I think I would. I don't want to be in a position to telling a child or parents what to do. I would guide them towards the discussion of what do you want to do. What are your future plans? How's this going to play out? What's really important to you? Obviously we're all cheering for Upward, but one of the reasons I coach, and I guess probably a lot of our coaches coach, is because it's an opportunity for us to put our fingerprints on the future, and just knowing that the kids you're working with, there's going to be coaches on that team. There are going to be teachers on that team. Going to be business people on the team. May even be a school board member on that team, and there's some probability that there's going to be a lawyer or a doctor or a rich businessman on those teams. So, you like a parent, you want to guide the child to becoming a complete person, and making decisions and being comfortable with those decisions is part of being a complete person. So you go through the process with the child and with the parents. What do you want to do? Because we're talking about the future now, and that's bigger than me. And we need to make good decisions.
Okay. Now, so that being said, is there a way to work around the conflicting schedules of practices?
There probably is, although at the school level, I was coaching this year at Ephrata, 7th grade, and we had practices every day. Now those practices were a little earlier in the day, so I could get to my practices, and a player could get to the Upward practices, which are a little later. They might be not a 100% fresh pair of legs. Yeah, but the other question is, you don't want to do something like that without the knowledge of the school involved. And
So if one of your players said to you, Coach, listen, I'm only going to miss one practice a week, your middle school player at Ephrata, so I want to play it Upward. Would you mind if I miss Monday nights? What would your thoughts? What would you say to that player?
for me, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'm not sure that would necessarily be my call, because the varsity head coach, he's looking at the program all the way down to 7th grade. So he's looking for the future of his program. So I think it would be dependent upon some really good relationships with the school people. And I think if you have a good relationship, it's probably something that could be worked out. But there's got to be transparency there for for those relationships to be in place.
So what about, do you know any coaches, middle school or even high school? So let's say a ninth grader comes. Is there coaches that would absolutely say, no, you don't, well, you're not missing any of my practices?
Yeah. I think that would probably be the expected response. From ninth grade on, you got ninth graders who are playing JV in high school. I mean, really, good players. And I think from the ninth grade on, you're getting into an area where people become very possessive, and that's a place where they don't want you playing even other pickup games like volleyball or that kind of stuff during the season, for fear of an injury. So I
Oh,
think
oh,
I
yeah.
think the older the boys get, the more possessive the coaches are going to get.
So you have the injury factor as well. So
Yeah.
is there a way for Upward to be accommodating? I guess that hasn't happened. Have you even run to anybody saying, "Hey, can I skip every other practice?" Or have you encountered anything like that where you tried to work around, where they didn't miss any middle school but missed some Upward practices?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I think that's our general approach. That if a kid needs to miss a practice, they miss a practice. Uh, and I guess I would probably also speculate that if it's a kid that's doing that well in middle school or ninth grade, they're probably a better player. So the upward practice is probably not as traumatic for them to miss as it might be for them to miss a practice at school. But again, I think it's a relationship kind of thing, and even if it is workable, so that they don't have to miss any school practices. Like I said, it's coaches become very possessive in terms of the risk factors of a player, participating in a different venue with people that the coach probably doesn't know, and they just don't want to take any chances. So it would need to be a strong relationship, I think, for it to work.
Okay. All right. So as far as the child who says, "I'll play an Upward, but I can't be there for any practices at all," you're thinking that Upward leans towards, "Hey, maybe this isn't for you."
Well, and I, I mean,
Or do they have a rule? Does Upward say no? You don't show up to practices. That's it. You're nothing. You're not playing. Like, what have you seen?
yeah, and for Upward, I mean, you've got 7, 8 other kids who only see this player on game days. So a standard I've set for myself several years ago. Everything you say and do sends a message. Send the right message, and at some point in time, where there's conflicts that just are not able to be overcome, you just have to face reality and say, this is where we are, and I want to help you make the right decision.
Okay. All right. Well, Chick Coles, hey, I want to thank you for joining the podcast and giving us your insight on there. And we are going to be breaking down each game. So if you don't mind, I'd like to talk to you during the breakdown of your game, if you'd be up for that. I don't know when I'm doing that.
Would love to. I've listened to the first 2 podcasts. I think you did a really good job on them, and would encourage you to keep providing that contact to people. I think you'll get a lot of interest.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Chick Coles, everybody. Thanks, Chick. Appreciate your time. Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So there you go, folks. You hear it from one of the most legendary coaches out there, Chick Coles, who has just had a phenomenal career at Upward, a great coach, great person. There's his input. And yes, he did have a situation. I won't bring up the boy's name. I do remember that. The boy was contemplating surgery, whether or not he could, and his team was right in the thick of things. And I'm trying to remember, I believe the boy did have the surgery, and yes, he did. And that's a whole other topic, because that, you want to use the phrase let down the team, but a boy's health was involved. The big issue was that the boy could have waited It wasn't something that needed to be done right there on the spot. So that's a whole different topic. That's different than what we're talking about here. This subject, and the reason I bring up the practicing topic is because Luke Harding, Isaiah Lapp were both in the booth with me at Championship Saturday, and that topic came up. And the boy said, "Listen, we got middle school practice. I think the middle school was at a different time, so the middle school boys could practice." I'm trying to remember what Luke said. You probably go out there and hear it during the last game, but that it definitely is a problem. So I said, why do a lot of boys not show up? Brody Souter, the Clemsons, and a lot of these boys are playing middle school. But Isaiah played middle school. Luke played middle school. So why are some boys able to do it and not others? Not just boys, but girls too. I mean, Katie Hoffman played guard and spot middle school. So I'm just trying to understand why some people are not playing Upward because of the practicing schedules, but yet others can make Upward work. Maybe you miss some practices. Maybe you work with both coaches. I just want to see the kids not miss out. Upward is such a short time of their life, up into 9th grade, and to miss it because of a practice at a guarded spot or another league. But I remember Ryder Hertzler. I remember him going to tournaments, and he had to miss games. I remember that. So I'm really curious, how do people feel? How do coaches feel? Should the person just not play if they're going to miss games because of another league? If they're going to miss practices at another league? What are your guys' thoughts out there? If you're hearing this later on, the replay of this podcast, type in the comments, what do you think players should do? Should the players just skip Upward altogether? Should the players try to make it work? Should the coaches be lenient? Should the coaches say, okay, you can miss a couple practices, you can even miss a couple games, just play? Or are you on the end of things that, hey, Upward's not for you? If you can't make it and attend everything, then go do what you got to do, and you're going to miss out. Type of thought process. I mean, as far as my feelings on it, I would say, forget if you're only going to miss practices, fine. I'd like to see an attempt to work around the practices. Hey, coach, can we practice on the side here, even with a couple of guys on the team or girls? And I really want to play. I can make the games, no problem, and we can do a video conference and look over last week's game and talk about it and try to make it work. I hate to see you not play Upward because of the 1 hour and a half a week practice, when you could practice other days outside of the Upward practice, or if you're not going to practice at all, I'd rather see you show up. I honestly, that's how I feel. If Brody Souter would have said, to Eric Stark, hey, I can't make your practices. I'm going to be practicing, but I'll be at every game. I'll be at all 7 games. I'll be there for the whole championship Saturday, but I can't make your practices, coach. But let me play. If it's me, I'm saying, yeah, you can absolutely practice. I want to see if I can get Eric Stark. I don't know if Eric, well, it is kind of late. I'm not going to call Eric. So I'll try to shoot him one more text. I'd love to get his input. So I'm going to try and get a hold of Eric Stark. Now, I know this is during the girls, the girls' game, but this is a big topic because I have heard so many great players. I mean, look at Jackson Straub. He was phenomenal in the 2022 Wildcats team. And just typing Eric here. And Jackson, why did these people disappear? Now, I heard that the Zentners didn't play because of other leagues. And I'm just typing the coach here. Just give me one moment, folks. I'm going to ask Aaron his opinion on kids who can't practice. But can play. So we'll see if Eric will allow me. I'm just texting him here. And if you're seeing the replay, like I said, I really want your input. Because this is a big topic at Upward. And I don't, while it's fresh on my mind, I'd love to know. And I wish I could talk to Darren about this on his feelings. Because there are so many kids. I mean, the thing with me is the girls' 5th and 6th league last year was so fun. It was great. You had the Lady Tigers and the Cardinals had a great championship match. And the Falcons, I loved watching them play too. And I cannot, I thought we were going to have such a big girls 7 and 9 turnout this year. I thought we were at least going to have 3, if not 4 teams of all the 6th graders that were getting moved up. And here we had like 13 girls. Now, I'd like to know that answer. I'd like to know, is it because of schedules? Now, I did talk to Philip Lapp and Richard Lapp. Their girls were just trying out basketball. So they really weren't basketball players per se, avid basketball players. But they played, and okay, so that's fine. If basketball is not your thing, it's not your passion, and that's why you didn't come back to Upward, hey, no problem. Thank you for playing. But to hear that you would have played Upward if it weren't for the practices and the scheduling of the practices, that to me upsets me. Because if you could be there on game day as part of the team, it's such a short 2-month season. If it's me, guys, as long as you're practicing somewhere, fine. Let's see is Dan Gwaltney with us still. I can't get anybody. All right. It is late. All right. So I'll see if I can get their input and text it in the chat. So that's where I stand. So, folks, if you're watching this and you're Upward coach, or if you're just a basketball coach or a parent, I'd love to hear from some parents. What are your thoughts of your child playing in 2 different leagues? Well, I wish I could talk to the Souter parents. Really wish I had that lined up before this pod. Maybe I got to get a hold of people before I start the podcast and have them ready. It just seems like nobody's answering this late. All right, so you guys got to hear from Chick Coles, the indelible Chick Coles, who was going to go down in history as one of the greatest coaches at Upward. Great to hear from him on the podcast. Our first guest gave some great insight, by the way. Thank you, Chick. That was really good insight because, like I said, Chick, he had to deal with a very special situation. Okay, so Eric just answered he's driving right now. His opinion is if they don't practice, they don't play. The first quarter of a game, they don't start, that's for sure. Then maybe they'll show up to practice. It's not fair to the other kids that show up and put in the hard work. It's funny. Jesse was just saying how I wouldn't do that in certain players. So, all right, so we got to do through this since I got Coach Stark. Coach, what about the child that plays Garden Spot Middle School and the schedules conflict, or he would show up to practice? So let's see what he says to that. So again, Coach Stark, tremendous basketball mind. To get his input on this is important. He is driving in the car, so he said calling wouldn't be the best thing. His opinion, if they don't practice, they don't play the first quarter of a game. They don't start, that's for sure. Maybe they'll show up to practice. So I think we're talking about two different things here. I'm not talking about the child that's not showing up, the child that's doing an Allen Iverson. I'm not talking about that, where he just didn't come to practice. I'm talking about the kid that has another practice. To make it clear that a child has another practice at that same time. Okay. So he says his son played for CV, middle school, and very beginning of the year, practices ran upright against his. His wife brought him as soon as the CV practice was done. He actually did not miss much time, but had the issue the same year. I don't care if it's my son, I still would have said at the beginning of the game, fair is fair. But if there's a will, there's a way to make it work. So would you tell a child not to play upward if he couldn't make any of the practices, but could make all of the games? Question mark. All right, so he's saying if there's a will, there's a way. And I'm kind of on board with that. Because there's got to be a way to get the kid together with a couple other kids on the team. You know, even if it's not, like if you have practices on Monday night, all right, Tuesday we can meet at a court, we can shoot around at the gym, at school, whatever, get together with the coach, do a remote video session, go over the game, film the practice, whatever. All right, so he says if you can't practice with his team, it makes it very difficult just to show up on Saturday to play games. How is that fair to his teammates? I think you really need to evaluate or see if he can be on a different team or the practices wouldn't be an issue. Okay, so that's some good insight there. Okay. That is some good insight. I'm letting the coach know. All right. You know, I'm of the mind that if there's a will, there's a way. Make it work. So there's Coach Stark, folks. You know, but I don't want to see a child not play upward because of it. If they are practicing with another team at that same exact time. Okay. So, because going into next year, I would love to see if there's a solution that Upward can come up with, or Darren, somebody, Brian, that we can make this work. We're losing too many kids to another league because of practice. I feel like Allen Iverson. All right, Eric says, I think the 9th player on your team will take the lead from what your top player is doing. They all follow suit. That's why I push Jesse and Preston to make sure they set good examples. My big concern are people like Brody Souter or the Clemsons who couldn't play because of another league. Is there a way to get people like that into the league? Because, I mean, they're missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Once Upward's out of your life, 9th grade, that's it. That's it. Now, if you're going to miss that for middle school practices, just because of an hour and a half practice, you know, think of that child in the game. If Brody Souter missed the Monday practice, but he was there every Saturday, how much more fun and excitement in his life, the memories, does he bring to the team showing up on Saturday versus not being there at all? This is what it comes down to. So parents, and I'm really, this is a girls 7th and 9th podcast, and it really upset me to see how many girls did not go into their 7th grade year. They just didn't play at all. A lot. I really wanted at least 3 teams. I thought we really were going to have 4 solid teams because of all the 6th graders that had such a great season in their 6th grade year. And parents, if you're hearing this in the future, the replay, and you're the parent of one of those 6th grade girls that just didn't play at all in 7th grade, I'd love to know why. Please give us some feedback. Now, I can tell you, okay, I'm going to bring up Gianna Garment because now she's 9th grade. So this had nothing to do with 6th grade, 7th grade, because her sister Adelie played 6th grade and played 7th grade. So Gianna, I contacted her parents and said, how come she's not playing? And they talked to her and they said, well, she didn't think it was fair last year, the teams. I mean, it was John Hoffman and Katie Hoffman brought along Lena Steiner, and they dominated the entire season, won every game easily. And Gianna was on the other team, unfortunately. So she didn't want to play. Now, we did address that. We did not have a coach's draft this year, so we addressed it. Now, I'm not saying it was perfect, but we addressed it. And the girls, I asked Dorothy, her mother, and she said she and Adelie enjoyed the season. I said, did they enjoy it? Yes, they did. So Gianna Garment, because we addressed the problem, came back and played. And Ryan Doherty showed me footage of how much fun Gianna had at practice. Look what, she would have missed. Look at these games. These games are on film, and they're going to be there for a long time. All because she participated in Upward, because we addressed the problem. So why can't we do that for other situations, Upward? Why can't we work it out? Don't just skip out on Upward. Let's talk about it. I want the Brody Souders and the Jackson Straubs. I want them to play. I want the Clemson brothers. I wanted to see Roman's rest of his career. He played 7th grade for Chick Cole's Celtics with Connor Stoltzfus. Connor finished it out. Roman went on to other leagues. I want to see these guys and girls play every year at Upward. I want them to find a way. To me, if practice is the problem, let them play in the games. Let them play like Eric Stark said, okay, fine, don't start. You're not in the starting 5. Fine. But let these kids play. That's my philosophy. It's Upward, such a short season. We're not talking a long season, 7 regular season games and 1 championship Saturday. It's so short that you shouldn't let 7 or 8 little practices stop somebody from missing out on these memories and, the team experience. So, like we did with Gianna, work it out. Talk to Upward. Call Darren and say, is there a way we can work this out? Ryder Hertzler played in a whole nother league. I remember Mitch saying, hey, he's in Harrisburg. He can't play this week. And Finn, too. Finn, I believe, plays for another league. But they made it work. even if you have to miss a game or a practice here and there. So what are your thoughts and feelings, folks? Anne-Marie, so let's see. I'm about to end the podcast. One last chance to be my second audio guest. I have a very big question about a child who can't attend Upward because of practices for another league. Do you have time for a quick call? Live on the air. So we'll see if Anne-Marie wants to discuss this. Anne-Marie had a sensational season. This was the best I've ever seen her coach. She had a lot of fun, I could tell, out there. And she had two really, really good teams. Her Cardinals, the girls 5th and 6th. And then she had Brody Souter and the Celtics that suffered a heartbreak upset in the quarterfinals. But, Anne-Marie. And we need to thank Anne-Marie for everything she's done for Upward. I mean, all the time that she gives to the league. So, Anne-Marie, Brian, Darren, all the volunteers, everybody. I don't want them to go unnoticed on these podcasts. The reason I got involved not only reason, the big reason is it started with watching Darren and Brian give their time, and Lisa Plank. I saw how much time they were giving, and that was an inspiration to me. And I said, I wish, I remember before even Darren discovered me, I was saying, God, I wish I could help. I wish I could be a part and do something. And little did I know what was going to happen. That Darren Parry's going to be sitting behind me as I'm talking to my brother on the phone, announcing the end of an exciting boys 5th and 6th game in 2018 that would lead to this moment here. Funny how things work, but so I'll give Anne-Marie last chance before I sign off. It's an important topic. So we'll see if Anne-Marie joins. I guess I got to get these podcasts more organized. All right. I don't think Anne-Marie wants to talk. So, podcast number 3 in the books. Stream with Purpose. This was a good one because at the end of this, we broke down the Liberty Dream game. And congratulations to the Dream. You were sensational. And Liberty, hey, this these are lessons that you're going to learn for the rest of your careers as people, as players, as coaches. Ryan Doherty, sensational 3rd championship win. So I hope everybody enjoyed the breakdown. I hope that you guys text your thoughts and feelings about kids playing at Upward because of practices. And if you're the parent of the 6th grade girl who doesn't want to play next year, please, look at all the fun and the memories that they're going to miss if they don't come out and play in 7th grade. And it's good for them. I've seen a change in my daughter, 7th grade, playing against 9th graders. I've seen a toughness come out of her that I've noticed. A good toughness. And she said to me today, I'm going to miss playing them. Hey, they had 3 9th graders to 1 advantage. It was a strong older team. And my daughter loved it. And she was a shy little timid thing at the start of the season. And then at the end of the season, I'm seeing her rip the ball out of somebody's hands. So I'm very glad she played. And I hope you make that decision too. Okay. Jeff Russell signing off, podcast 3. Thanks, everybody.